to the County Buzz. I'm Dick Wolf, your host. In a few minutes, we're going to be talking with Tabatha Curtis. She's the director of the Franklin County Prevention Coalition. That's a long title, and it deserves to be, so you'll find out why in a minute. We'll be right back.
When it comes to furniture, appliances, electronics, and yard equipment, start with a company you can trust. Badcock Home Furniture and More in Winchester has spent years faithfully serving their community and their customers. Badcock Furniture has always been ahead of the rest when it comes to brand name furniture, appliances, and electronics. That's why Badcock is the best. Badcock continues to renovate their store plan with new top-of-the-line quality products that fit your taste and budget and make your life at home easier than ever. Upgrade your appliances today. Ranges, freezers, refrigerators, microwaves, vacuums, and stay comfortable through the years with air conditioners and infrared quartz fireplace heaters in several sizes and designs. Live healthy and sleep better with iComfort Sleep Systems by Serta, plus sleep accessories, support systems, and foundations from other major brands. Badcock carries state-of-the-art entertainment equipment, TVs, DVD players, home theaters, computers, tablets, printers, and more, and financing is available. Visit Gregor K. Gillum and the staff at Badcock Home Furniture and More today. 405 Bypass Road in Winchester. Call 931-962-4991. We make it easy. We deliver. Badcock Home Furniture and More in Winchester.
I'm here with Tabatha Curtis, our guest this morning from the Franklin County Prevention Coalition.
Good morning, Dick. I'm glad to be here.
And I'm glad you're here because I know you've got a lot to talk about. The Prevention Coalition is preventing what, and it's collating with whom?
Okay. Well, we are the Franklin County Prevention Coalition. We've been established for 8 years, and our goal or our mission is to reduce youth substance abuse and violence, and how we're doing that is through education and partnerships throughout the county.
So with organizations, with groups?
Oh, absolutely. Our mission and our guidelines insist, and they also encourage that we have 12-sector representation part of the coalition. When I talk about the 12-sector representation, I'm talking about your schools, your youth, parents, law enforcement, faith-based community, local government, youth-serving organizations, other organizations who are involved in substance abuse prevention. And so that's about 9 of the different organizations that we partner with, as well as our nonprofits in the community.
So prevention, your focus is on drugs then?
Absolutely, it's on drugs. It's about substance abuse, especially among our 12 to 17-year-olds. Now, do we look at the entire community? Absolutely. And when I say that we look at the entire community, we do environmental strategies. And environmental strategies are not, picking up the trash or recycling or anything like that. It's strategies that impact the entire environment in the community. One example of that is like retail compliance checks, and that's, partnering with our law enforcement, partnering with our youth sector, and that's to go out and provide support with them in doing retail compliance checks, and that is also known as a beer sting. You might be more familiar with beer stings.
I remember those from Carl Smith days.
With the beer stings, and what we do is we partner with them to go out and just to look at the community and see if they are properly IDing individuals who are coming in trying to purchase beer. But it's bigger than that. It's not just, looking to, find a retail establishment who is, not doing properly IDing or whatever, but the coalition provides what's called responsible beverage service training, and that's for on and off premises, and we do that for free through the off premises, meaning your retail convenience stores. We provide that training for free, and we've partnered with the Winchester Beer Board and some of the other beer boards in the community, and they require that training now. 8 years ago, it was not a required training in order to get your beer permit. They went in and they went through the process of, the background check and paying for the beer permit and so forth, and they could get their permit. But now they have to actually attend our responsible beverage service training class, pass a test, and then their employees can get their permit and their card to sell the beer. And we partner with our local restaurants and bars that we provide the on-premises. Now, it is required by the state of Tennessee, any server, bartender who is actually serving an alcoholic beverage has to have the Tennessee ABC card, because at any time they can come into the establishment and ask them to see their server card. So that is another part that we play into, trying to reduce underage consumption.
It's wonderful to have been in the media for a few years, and hear the echo of some stories that we talked about years ago. And these were some of the things we talked about that were necessary. to keep alcohol out of the hands of ineligible drinkers.
And another thing that we've been able to successfully do over the past 8 years is we've worked with our local beer boards, you know, and have more of a standardized fines and penalties for those retailers who do sell to underage buyers. You know, used to, I know a problem was, you know, that you might have one city that would be $50 for the first offense and one city would be $500.
Yes.
You know, that's no longer the way it is. They're not all equally the same, but at least they're in line. There's a standard there. So, you know, we feel very fortunate that we've been able to help create that policy change in the community.
Of course, alcohol is a pretty serious problem. Last statistics I read, binge drinking among middle school students is rising. They're getting alcohol from their folks. I guess they'll turn anywhere they can to get these drugs. The Chief Dennis Young was on our show recently talking about the proliferation of narcotics and prescribed medications as another drug problem. How are you addressing that?
Well, we're trying to do, you know, again, multiple environmental strategies throughout the community, as well as working with law enforcement to take their information and get it out to the parents and the citizens on what is infiltrating our county. One of the things that we definitely encourage and will go out to any organization is to lock up your medications in your home. Talk it up, lock it up, and we do that with providing these pill pods. This is one of the things that we provide, and this one has a code.
Oh, a little lockout. You can hold that up to the camera there and,
Okay,
and
we'll
probably
show
get
it.
it.
And this one, if I can get it open properly.
I've got a bicycle lock like that.
Yeah,
That's
you know, like a little combination, and you can put your medications in there. We give these away free to the community, and that they can put their medications in there and lock them up. You know, you do take the code off to the side,
Yeah.
but that's one way to properly secure your medications. We also have the medicine cabinet lock boxes that we give away free to the community. You know, we encourage parents to lock up their medications, count your medications, you know, definitely to make sure that you know how many you've taken and so forth. And it's not just against their children. You never know if you had to have someone come in your home and work on something. And it's not that, you know, you're saying that you don't trust everyone.
Yep.
It's just a safe measure for you. Another thing that we're doing with parents in the community is we're giving away free drug testing kits. And we've been doing this for several years, and it's been very successful. Now, we started out doing the urine-based kits and felt that they were, you know, sometimes that they might not be as adequate and be able to detect alcohol for sure. It didn't detect for. So we went to the saliva-based kits, and the saliva-based kits come like this. You know, they're enclosed in a packet. The parent swabs the kid's mouth or their child's mouth and then inserts it in here and locks it. It will test not only for opiates, marijuana, but it also detects for alcohol, which the urine-based kits did not. We encourage parents to go by the police department or to come by our office, pick these up. There's no questions asked. You just, well, we ask, you know, is your child male or female?
Yeah,
we don't ask their names.
I
you know,
understand.
male or female, your zip code, and the child's birth date. And that's for tracking purposes for us. The reason why we want that is so we can say, you know, if we have, you know, 50 males or, you know, 75 females between the ages of 12 and 14, that's where the majority of the drug test kits are going, and in what zip code. And, you know, that's just for our grant tracking purposes why we ask that. Now, what is the purpose for this? Well, the first purpose is for parents to be able to detect if they feel like their child has a substance abuse problem. You know, this is your first area of detection, and therefore you can address.
Do you get the results right away?
Yes.
Oh,
with this,
okay.
oh yes, the results are right away. Yeah, it will. The indicator will come up. You know, it will change colors on, you know, on this little tab here. It'll go from having nothing there to lines of pink, kind of like an at-home pregnancy test. So immediately you will see the results on there. We also want the youth to be able to say when they come to school, if they feel like they're under some kind of peer pressure to use substances, you know, to be able to say, my parents have the drug test kit at home. They're drug testing me. It's not worth it for me to risk losing everything over, you know, taking a pill or drinking some alcohol. We do another measure with this as well, Dick, is when we give them and provide them with this drug test kit, we also give them talking points. You know, talking points about how to address this, maybe talk to their child about drugs, because you know, sometimes that's hard conversations to have. You know, some things we just don't want to know about as parents, and so we don't talk about it. And so we give them some talking points so that they can use those. And then on the flip side of that, we also tell them what to do if your child does test positive for something. You know, the resources, and we give them a whole page of resources where they can contact us or contact other organizations in order to get their child some help.
This is just kind of amazing that we're having to tell parents how to talk with their children. But that's a really common problem, isn't it?
Well, you know, again, like I say, you know, sometimes as parents, those conversations are hard to start. You know, you're talking about drugs and alcohol, something you really don't want to talk about anyway, you know.
You don't want to find out that they're doing it.
That's true, that's true. Just like the sex conversation.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to talk.
That one.
Yeah, that one, you don't want to talk about that one either. But we do have a parent handbook that we give out to every parent that gets one of the drug test kits, and it covers, it's probably one of the best tools that I've ever seen for parents, because it covers multiple situations. It covers bullying, it covers cyber dating, it covers social media, eating disorders, it covers mental health issues like the cutting, depression, it has information about suicide in there, it covers alcohol, sneaking out at night. You know, that little magazine, I call it it's a parent handbook, but I mean, it's like a magazine. It's probably one of the best tools that we have to give out to the parents in the county, and we have given out hundreds of those.
Are you getting feedback from the parents on, this was wonderful, I never realized I could talk with my child like this?
We've had some feedback because in it does talk about the recent trends in drug use, and it also talks about how to start the topic, you know, start the conversation, and it'll give you a topic to talk about. And so we have had some feedback from them, but it's usually from our parents. All of our MRT, which is a moral recognition therapy program that we run on Tuesday nights.
Dennis Young tried to talk about that the other day, and he couldn't remember the word recognition. I had trouble with that word myself. I really don't know what it means.
Okay, it's a cognitive behavior program, and it's a 12-step program that we use, not 12-step in saying that's like AANA, but it's a 12-step, or they call it the ladder, the freedom ladder is what they actually call it. And the kids, a lot of them come who are sanctioned from juvenile court. We have, however though, we have young people who come that their parents send them to the program. We've had guidance counselors refer. We've had other mental health organizations refer that their youth come to that program. So it's not just sanctions from the juvenile court. And we have kids who come not only for substance abuse, but unruly. I currently have a young man in the program that his parents sent him because he didn't want to do his chores and he wanted to talk back. And so, you know, here you have a child sitting in the program who's unruly at home and not wanting to do what he's told to do, but also I have one over here that's substance abuse using. We've had them for truancy, we've had them for tardiness, we've had them for theft, so just multiple reasons. Fighting, we've had a lot of young people who come for fighting. We've had them for destruction of, you know, property. So, you know, Judge Ferris and his office has been wonderful to support that program with us for the past 6 years, and we have seen wonderful success with that. Like I said, we've had, I think at last count, we probably had over 5,000 youth who've been through that program in the past 6 years.
That's pretty amazing. We're talking with, excuse me, Tabatha Curtis from the Franklin County Prevention Coalition, and we'll be back with more of Tabatha right after this.
Whatever your shipping needs, Mr. Postman is where you want to go. Convenient across from the post office in Winchester. Take your packages or bring the item unpacked and they'll carefully box it and send it off for safe delivery. Anywhere. Yes, in or out of the USA, Mr. Postman can get it there quickly. There's more. Get a box number with a street address. Start a background check with safe and secure fingerprinting. Oh wait, forgot that card to go with that present? Not a problem. A good selection of cards, funny, faithful, and family. Mr. Postman, across from the post office, Winchester.
Welcome back, everyone, to the County Buzz. I'm Dick Wolf, sitting here this morning with Tabatha Curtis. Good morning, Tabatha, again.
Good morning again.
And so there's, we can lock up our drugs, so we can talk to our children. How do people go about getting some of these devices that you've talked about, the lockbox, the drug test kit?
Okay, well, the drug test kits are in every police department in the county and the sheriff's office. They're also located in our office, so you can go and pick them up at any time from any of those entities. The medicine cabinet lock boxes, we have them in our office, so you have to come by the Campora Family Resource Center at 900 South Shepherd Street in order to pick those up. And they're free of charge. Everything that we do, the services and things that we provide to the community, Dick, are free. One of the most recent things that we've done is reestablish our DUI school. And used to, in years past, we would charge $150 to come to our DUI school. But because in talking with the mayor and law enforcement and our DA's office, you know, with all the fines and penalties that people receive, a hindrance in them getting their driver's license back and not driving on a revoked and continuing that cycle of, you know, driving on a revoked and additional fines and penalties and so forth.
Right.
We thought if we can provide our DUI school for free, then maybe that would deter, you know, them not having to go through paying all these fines and penalties, and that would be one less obstacle for them to start driving again and driving within the law. And so we offer our DUI school every third Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. free of charge for residents of Franklin and Grundy County. And you have to provide information showing that you are a resident. You know, we do have other people who are coming in from other counties, and we do charge them $150. But this is a service that the coalition decided, if at all possible, because, you know, we do have to pay a facilitator to come in and do the class, and we also have to pay for the workbooks.
Right.
But if we can, you know, use our budget wisely and be able to provide this, at least that's one deterrence that we can have for them not to be driving legally.
So for 8 years you've been doing this, and you talk about a coalition. Why don't, tell us who some of the coalition members are, and tell us also, I'm not affiliated with any particular organization. I think you've got a great program. I'd like to drop you a $20 bill. How do I go about doing any of those things?
Okay. Well, some of our partners include other youth-serving organizations like the Rain Teen Center.
Right.
They're part. Other mental health or substance abuse organizations, and that would be, and I hope I don't miss anyone, but these are the people that are around our table the majority of the time, would be like Health Connect or the 12th Judicial Drug Court. They're also part. Our local government, you know, we've been very supported by our local government, so, you know, Mayor Stewart, but all the mayors in the community, because we too worked on the Stop Meth Now campaign with Chief Young in the city of Winchester. So we worked very hard and diligently on that. So we had support from all the mayors in the community and all the city councils, which is really unheard of in many counties. So we feel very blessed about that. Law enforcement, all of our law enforcement, our police chiefs have all been very supportive of us. You know, they'll allow us to put our drug test kits out there. We work with them again on doing saturation patrols. We will help them, you know, increase their saturation patrols like on the lakes and hot spots and during events like, you know, when they have the dogwood on the square and they do like the kids zone and so forth, and the youth area. You know, we assist in trying to provide them with some funding for increased saturation patrols. We work with the school resource officers with their cadet program. Local businesses, Reliable Rental, you know, and all of our businesses have been very supportive. You know, you don't have ordinances passed and restrictions put on pseudoephedrine unless you have your support from your pharmacies. So, you know, during that time we had all of our pharmacies, you know, were partnering with us. So, you know, every pharmacy in the county has been part of our partnership. Parents, not only parents from like the school organizations, but our parents from our MRT program, you know, and parents who participate in our parenting program that, you know, Eric Van Zandt conducts at the Campora Family Resource Center. We have 17 amazing youth who are our youth coalition, and they actually on Tuesday, they were the focus group for the state of Tennessee. They had a representative from the state of Tennessee who come and interviewed them as for what they would want or not want at a youth conference that's going to be held in July. And so they were the sounding board for that. So we had 17 amazing young people talking about tobacco and what they would want to do to initiate in the community and during this conference with tobacco. And we have schools, of course. You know, we're under the school system.
Right.
And so we have wonderful partnerships with the school system. Dr. Lonis, you know, the central office staff up there, physical agent is under the Franklin County government. So, you know, we're very fortunate with that. our faith-based organizations, our churches have always supported everything that we do, you know, whether they're just writing letters, you know, from the pastors, you know, in support of us, or if they're allowing us to come into their churches to, you know, have discussions about different things that's going on. You know, we've been to multiple churches, vacation Bible schools. You know, we have been.
You're tapping every resource that's out there.
Absolutely.
And that's how it works.
And that's how it works. It's building a community capacity. You know, we lost our drug-free communities funding. We had it for 5 years. And then we have reapplied for years 6 through 10. Well, we did not get it year before last. So for a year, we were lacking $125,000 to run our organization. During that time, you know, you really learn about your capacity in the community, because during that time, we were able to reestablish our DUI school and provide it free of charge to the community, and also work with the assistant director of the coalition is Sky Maxon, and she was able to use the capacity in the community to build a juvenile behavior court. So, with no money.
Yeah, Franklin County sort of amazes me in many ways. We are so small, we're off the interstates, and yet and you haven't said this, but I know for a fact that the state has looked at Franklin County and our work, your work, as a model for other communities to replicate.
And we have been very fortunate and have been asked. Actually, in December, Sky and I were asked to come to Washington, D.C. as part of our Drug-Free Communities Grant training, but we were also asked to be a mentor or coalition to show other coalitions how you can work with your community and build that capacity. And we presented on our Stop Meth Now campaign. So we talked to them about that. We shared with them about how the ordinances are passed, how to build your capacity in your community. And one of the things that I always share when I go and present to anyone is about sustainability. Because everyone thinks, Dick, when you talk about sustainability is about money and about the dollars. That is not true. Your sustainability is your capacity in your community, your people, your businesses. Because money and dollars can go away. And you know, you may have the largest budget in town, but if you don't have the people part of your organization and have built those relationships and have that capacity, you're just sitting there with a pot of money and you're not going to be able to implement anything.
Well, the entire thing almost started without money. I mean, Chief Young talked about that last week on our program, that there weren't funds available, but Franklin County did it anyhow.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't, that's certainly a praiseworthy thing.
You know, and another great resource that we have had is our media outlets, you know, the radio stations, you know, and Grubby with this class and now working together on this project with you know, that is major importance. You know, we have been able to do commercials and things and put them together, you know, using Grubby and his students at Franklin County High School and working with our theaters. You know, we've had commercials, you know, at the Odom Theater and at the drive-in out there that youth have put together, and it's been wonderful.
Yeah, this is a great resource, the broadcast class here at Franklin County High School. They're, of course, responsible for this program and many others. And it's a great resource for the community. There's about 4,000 subscribers in Franklin County that get this show that you and I are on at this moment. That's a very positive thing. And also, when you mentioned Sky Maxon, of course, Sky was on I think the Rebel Times staff when I was here and Dr. Edmonds was director of schools. So
she has never told me that.
I think that's where I met her.
Oh, I will have to ask her about it.
So it just, there's just so much connectiveness in Franklin County. And I think a lot of it is the family environment that we seem to inculcate in our people here.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we have seen it in multiple aspects in the community when there's something going on, whether it be like Eric Van Zant with the backpack program, or, you know, it is fully funded through donations. And the backpack program is meals that go home with children over the weekend, you know, who might not have food. It's completely run by volunteers. It's all run on donations. The Angel Tree that he does every year to provide clothing for the kids in the community through that program, it's all done on donations. So, and there's been other things, when, I know people sometimes have had tragedies and need hospital, money to pay hospital bills and so forth, and the community just rallying together to help one another. We have truly, and I think that you and I first talked about this interview on the square, and it was Winchester Christmas Downtown.
Merry Little Downtown Christmas.
Merry Little Downtown Christmas. And, and I was just talking about that this week. The atmosphere that was that night on that square was like stepping back in time. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. It was wonderful to see, the children on the square with their parents, going over to see Santa and making pictures and having, our youth showcased multiple times with, singing or playing instruments and so forth. So, and then on Saturday, of course, my youth coalition was involved up there, and how they were involved was they were doing a tobacco campaign. So when they had Elsa and Anna over there, they were giving out tobacco pledges to parents that would be willing to, sign a pledge and say, smoke free around our tree. And so they signed the little pledge, and they received a Christmas tree ornament. And that came through a partnership with the Franklin County Health Department, who is, our partner through the Health Council.
It all goes back to talking with each other, and that's
communication. That's
the best part of it. We don't have much time left, but I want to say, we're talking about kids, we're talking about youth, but do you ever run into a circumstance where a child has some sort of a problem, and so you go to help the child out and you discover that the parents are the ones with the problems? And we have resources for them?
Absolutely. We see that a lot of time. And a lot of times it's with our MRT program, because it's a very confidential program, and we have to keep it that way because it is a group setting. It's a peer-led program. And so in doing that, we hear lots of stories about the home, and sometimes it's abuse or whatever, but sometimes it's just neglect, and we do have the resources. And by law, we are obligated to report if there is some sort of abuse or neglect. But many times it's just talking with the parents, and that's what we're about. We're not about, necessarily turning someone in, but just acknowledging, hey, there might be a problem here, and let us share the resources that we have in the community with you, not to beat you down, but to lift you up and maybe provide something that you didn't know about, some sort of resource. So yes, and sometimes we can be talking with a child and they're showing risk of substance abuse issues, but then again the parent may be admit I have a serious problem here too. And so it's not just youth that we can deal with. We can work with anyone at any age bracket. I say our target is 12 to 17, but through our peer recovery specialist program through the Tennessee Lifeline, the coalition is able to assist anyone. Alan Burnett covers Region 5 South for us in the state, and Dave Hodge is Region 3 South. And we can assist anyone into showing them where the meetings are, assisting them into getting into treatment, and when they come home, helping them to follow up with that by going to their recovery meetings. So it's not just that we're about prevention. We're about prevention, treatment, and recovery.
Do you need volunteers?
Absolutely. We always need volunteers to come down and help. A lot of the things is information dissemination, getting the information out there. Being a parent who says, I could share this on Facebook, with my group of friends, getting that information put out there. I know Chief Young just recently put out a press release on the synthetic drugs and on the Fruity Pebbles, having a group of parents willing to say, let me put it out there, or us contact the Prevention Coalition and say, is this legitimate? Sometimes you hear things or it's on Facebook and you think, well, is that really true? But knowing that we are a viable resource and that we do have the information, and if we put it out there that it would be correct and that they can share it with their friends. We always need people, we do drug-free workplace training. Give us a call. If your organization or your business needs drug-free workplace training, we provide it for free again as well and come out in the community. So we always need volunteers, and volunteers, not necessarily to come out and do the actual work, sit in a meeting, but volunteers to say, hey, I can take a stack of that information to my church, or I can take it to my business place. I would be willing, to be a contact for you, a voice, saying that, you could come into my business, or I could be a volunteer to get you into a business or an organization to speak. So it's not just a volunteer to actually come and work hand in hand, but if you're providing us an opportunity to come and speak or a venue, then that is a volunteer.
Volunteer for Tabatha Curtis and the Franklin County Prevention Coalition. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you, Dick.
And thank you all for watching. If you're seeing us on Comcast Channel 3, we're here throughout the week. And you can also catch us on Facebook at the Franklin County Buzz, or our YouTube account, also the Franklin County Buzz. If there's something you want on television, post it on your favorite site and hashtag it Franklin County Buzz, and we'll find it. Thanks for watching.